Hey everyone, happy Monday. I hope y'all had a great weekend and ready to start the work week full force. This week's video is going to be from a series, the home building process, and today we're going to go over step 1, which is finding your land and selecting your plan. I have these two grouped together because I highly suggest looking for your land before selecting your plan. You can do it simultaneously at the same time, but there's nothing worse than going ahead and buying a plan and then figuring out that that plan is not going to work on the property that you buy. Finding your land. There are many places you can go to start your land search, but I highly suggest either using a real estate agent or a land expert. And this is because not only is that individual going to help you write up the contract and all of the supporting documents that are required when making an offer to buy land, they're also going to help make sure that all of the utilities are available for the property. And that leads me to my next discussion. When you're looking for land, you want to make sure that you have at least the 3 main utilities, which is power, water, and sewer. What you want to look for when you're looking for power is either a transformer box on the ground or a power pole with a transformer box. And that's typically located at the property lines between that lot and the neighboring lot. And let's say that when you're looking for land and you're looking at a piece of property and you don't see a transformer box or a power pole anywhere. If you see one on a neighboring property or across the way, you are most likely going to have to reach out to that neighbor to request a easement from them to be able to pull the power to your lot. That's a very long and complicated process, so I usually might like to make sure that I have power on the lot that I'm buying. Now, moving on to the water source. If you are looking at property in the city limits, you are most likely going to have access to the city water, and you can confirm that with your agent as well as the city water municipality. I would also confirm what the tap-on fee is. There is going to be a fee for you to tap onto their system, and that can range from hundreds to thousands. So I would definitely confirm what those costs are there. Now, if you're in an area that does not offer city water, you are going to have to drill a well, or you may have rights and access to a community well. But if you have to drill your own well, it can be pretty pricey, and those costs can range from, I've seen $10,000 up to $40,000. And that is not something that you can get a quote on because well companies charge per foot. They charge how deep they have to go until they hit the water source. So they can give you a range on what wells have been drilled in that area for, but it's not going to be something that you're going to know right off the bat. What I do if I'm looking to purchase a property that I need to drill a well on, I will look at the neighboring properties, and if they have a well on their property, I will either ask them or go by the county and request the well permit, because on that permit it will show how far down they had to drill the well, as well as gallons per minute and any other pertinent information about the well. And if the neighbor just so happens to let you look at their well head, it should have that information on the top of the well head tag as well. Okay, moving on to sewer. Like I said, if you are located within the city, you probably will have access to tap onto the city's sewer system. And I would also ask what the cost for those tap-on fees are as well, because they will be a separate tap-on fee for the water and the sewer. If you're located in a rural area in the country, you will probably have to install a septic system, or you will have to install a septic system. And those can range from $10,000 to $20,000. Unless you have to get a specific system, then they can get up to $25,000 to $30,000. It just depends on where you're at and what type of system has to be installed. I do know that being up here in the mountains, if you're on a lot that you cannot get a machine on and they have to hand dig, that can be a very expensive system. Now, you may be wondering, Holly, how can I ensure that I can get a well and a septic on my land? What you're going to need to do is apply for a septic and a well permit with your local county, and that is through the Environmental Health Services. and your real estate agent should assist you with that. There's nothing worse than buying a piece of land and then finding out later on that you cannot get a septic or a well installed on the land because it did not perk. So what I do for my clients is, if we're looking for land and the seller that is selling the land has not already pulled a well and a septic permit, then we will make an offer with earnest money only, because earnest money is refundable up until the due diligence period. So basically during that due diligence period, you will go to the local county's environmental help and apply for the well and the septic permit. And for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to go into that process. I will be creating a separate video on how to apply for a well and a septic permit in your local area. But basically when you go there, they'll give you a form and they'll have the instructions on there. You will most likely have to fill out a site plan with the proposed home location, as well as where you are proposing the well and the septic to go. Your well and your septic do have to be so far away, and that's different in each county. So you'll want to make sure you understand all of those rules, and your real estate agent should be able to assist with you on filling that out, or your builder. So after you've secured your well and your septic permit, and you've also confirmed that you have power and internet and any other utility that is applicable to you, then you can start looking for your home plans. There are a lot of places that you can find stock home plans online. I have listed above a couple of my favorites. The typical cost for stock home plans can range from $500 to $2,000, and it just depends on how big the plan that you're wanting for the price. If you are wanting a more custom home, then you're probably going to have to hire an architect, and those plans can be in the thousands of dollars, just depending on how big the house is and the amount of detail. A quick side note, if you're looking to build with a national home builder like D.R. Horton, Lennar, or Pulte Group, they will have stock plans in their company that you can choose from. And they can also help you with land selection. Most likely they will have in-house real estate agents as well. Sometimes too, these bigger national home builders buy large tracts of land and they do what are called spec homes. So they go ahead and start putting a couple of homes up in the community, and then you can go through and select your plot of land and build with them. Another quick side note that I did not go over earlier, if you do not want to hire an architect and you want to hire a draftsman, you want to make sure that the county where you're building your home does not require a stamped set of architectural plans. I know in my county they do not require a stamped set of architectural plans, so you can just hire a draftsman, which are a lot more affordable than architects. And you'll just want to confirm with your county exactly what they'll need for the plans. I know here they require, the basic floor plan, all elevations, all sides and elevations of the house, and then a cut view, so basically taking like a house and cutting it down the middle and looking at it from the side of the detail from the footings all the way up to the roof. And that's basically all that they require, as well as a simple site plan. So if you're in a county that does not require that, you can hire a draftsman to draw up your plans. What I typically like doing is finding a stock plan, and if I do need to have changes made that need to be redrawn, I can send them to the draftsman, and then he can make those changes on CAD or whatever program that he uses, and send those back. If they're simple enough for me to just redline, I'll just redline the plans. So there's all different types of options there. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. That concludes step 1 of the home building process. Next week I will be posting step 2, which is finding and securing your builder and securing your financing. I did not go over the financing portion in this step. It is really important though. I just felt like that needed a separate video in itself because it is a little bit of a process. And anyways, if y'all have any questions, please feel free to email me. I have provided my email in the description below. Thank y'all and have a good week.